Good, Mundo Monday. It's spring in the northern hemisphere. That's the top half of my head there, where 90% of the people on Earth live. It's a time of new life, of new colors, of growing things, of joy. This week is especially celebratory. Many Christian churches even call it Holy Week because it is the week leading up to the biggest Christian holiday, Easter, and has many other traditional celebrations all week long. But this week, at least this year, is not only a holy week for Christians. Yesterday was holy for Hindus. Literally, the day is called Holi, a day to celebrate new life and color. Lots of color. Seriously, color gets everywhere. There is so much celebration going on this week, all over the world, in many different religions, that the best way to sum it up is a Hebrew word, Dayenu, which means that would be enough. Any one celebration would have been more than enough for this week, but we have so many our joy overflows, including Passover, the week-long Jewish festival for which Dayenu is not just an appropriate word, it's a traditional song and a book. This song is traditionally sung entirely in Hebrew, but it's been translated into English for this book so that even if you don't know Hebrew, you can still hear what the song is about, the many miracles of Passover. But that said, there's one word that is still in Hebrew, and that's the word I expect you all to sing along with. You guess what it is? Dayenu. Don't worry, you'll catch on quickly. I knew it. Come on, Dayenu, a favorite Passover song. This has been illustrated by Miriam Latimer. I don't know if she did the translation or not, it doesn't say. Ready? You don't have to sing the verses. I'll sing the verses. When the Jews came out of Egypt, that was enough to make us happy. Sing a song and show we're happy. Dayenu. All right, this is the part where you come in. Dayenu. Dayenu. I'm not sure I know it yet. Dayenu. 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 Can you do it? Okay. Because this is your turn now. Ready?
Let's try.
Everybody. Dayenu. 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 Dayenu.
That wasn't so hard.
Another verse. You don't have to sing this time. When the sea was split for walking, that was enough to make us happy. Sing a song and show we're happy. Dayenu. 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 Everybody sing. Dayenu. 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 When the Jews received the Torah, that's the Bible.
That you interrupt the song.
I know. That was enough to make us happy. Sing a song and show we're happy. Dayenu.
Everybody sing!
Dayenu.
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 Dayenu. Dayenu.
Hold this.
What?
Okay. Computer, hold this. Dayenu.
Dayenu.
Dayenu. Dayenu. Dayenu. Dayenu.
When the Jews returned to Israel, that was enough to make us happy. I'm going to interrupt again. Look at how green that is right around
It is very green.
Jerusalem there. And it's desert out here. You think they would be happy, wouldn't they? Sing a song and show we're happy. Dayenu. Everybody sing. Dayenu. 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 Everybody sing. Dayenu. 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 One more time. Dayenu. 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 Give yourself a round of applause if you sang along. If you sang along. If you didn't sing along, you don't deserve a round of applause.
Oh, I think you do for listening to that. Passover celebrates the escape of the Jewish people from slavery in Egypt to re-establishing their homeland in Israel. It begins with a special meal called the Seder, which is full of symbolic foods like matzo or unleavened bread, because yeast and other things that make bread puffy are strictly forbidden during Passover. Bitter herbs, lamb, and eggs. Eating the Seder meal itself is many ritual steps where different prayers, songs, or traditions happen along with certain foods. In many families, the Seder ends by a child opening the door to welcome the prophet Elijah in. And that leads us to our next story.
Welcoming Elijah, a Passover tale with a tail, by Lesle Newman, illustrated by Susan Gow. Inside, there was light. Outside, there was darkness. Inside, it was warm. Outside, it was windy. That's weather for March, isn't it? Look at all these people come in. They're all bundled up. Inside, there was laughter. Outside, there was silence. Inside, a boy hugged his family. Outside, a kitten sat alone. Inside, the boy waited for the Seder to start. Outside, the kitten waited for the moon to rise. Bright full moon. Tonight will be different from all other nights. The boy knew this. The kitten did too. Seder had many parts to it. The boy filled the prophet Elijah's cup and then sat down to wait for the part he loved best of all. Inside, candles glowed. Outside, stars twinkled. Inside, the boy drank grape juice. Outside, the kitten lapped at a puddle. Inside, the boy washed his hands. Outside, the kitten cleaned its paws. Still the boy waited. Still the kitten waited. Inside, the boy dipped parsley into salt water. Outside, the kitten chewed a wet blade of grass. Inside, the boy broke the middle matzo in half. Outside, the kitten split a twig in two. I don't know, I think that matzo's going to be a little bit yummier than a twig. Inside, the boy heard the tale of the Israelites leaving Egypt. Outside, the kitten heard leaves whispering in the trees. Still the boy waited. Still the kitten waited. Inside, the boy ate the festive Passover meal. Outside, the kitten ate nothing at all. Inside, the boy patted his full belly. Outside, the kitten swished its skinny tail. The kitten's looking at food. Inside, the boy sang songs of praise like Dayenu. That's him. He's singing right now. You can hear him. Outside, the kitten. Meow. Still the boy waited. Still the kitten waited. At last, one of the grown-ups said, "Let us now open the door to welcome the prophet Elijah, who will one day bring peace to the world." Inside, the boy sprang up from his seat. Outside, the kitten scampered up the walk. A square of lamplight spilled onto the porch. A beam of moonlight shone into the hall. Inside, the boy looked outside. Outside, the kitten looked inside. Elijah? Meow. Do you think a kitten normally shows up when he opens the door for Elijah? That's how Elijah found a home. The end.
Passover always begins on the 15th day of Nisan, which is a full moon, because Hebrew months begin at the new moon. Easter was originally celebrated on the first Sunday after the full moon of Nisan, because the Easter story takes place at Passover. Jesus, the leader of Christianity, was a Jew whose Last Supper before his execution was, in fact, a Passover Seder. You must excuse Da Vinci, a non-Jewish Italian in the 1400s, for not knowing that the bread in his painting was supposed to be unleavened. But church leaders eventually decided to link it to the solar calendar instead, the first Sunday after the first full moon after the spring equinox. Usually, this is the full moon of Nisan, but because the lunar Hebrew calendar must sometimes add a month to keep it lined up with the solar calendar, 3 times every 19 years, Easter happens in March, but Passover happens in April. Meanwhile, Holi also takes place at the full moon, usually the one closest to the spring equinox. But this could be before or after the equinox, not just after. So Holi almost always happens in March. Most years it's a whole month different from Passover. For all 3 of these holidays to happen at the same time, that's a lucky mass of celebration, for which we say Dayenu.